Hi friends, in this section we're going to learn some tips about preparing the CV or your resume. It is very important that this is the heart of the whole application process, and you have to remember some important points when you're preparing your CV, because this is the one that speaks all about you, and you have no chance to speak to the interviewer directly before the application process. So it is only way that you are able to communicate about your achievements, about your background and everything through this resume. So it is important to follow these tips and understand what are the important aspects of a CV and keep them in mind and start preparing your CV. And if you have any questions or if you need some help, don't forget to book the appointment on Calendly through the website, and I will be happy to help you and review your resume, and will be able to give you some tips and help you in terms of preparing your CV in a better way. So let's start with the CV process. So let me share the screen. This is my CV, and there are three important parts for any CV. The first one is the contact information. The second one is the summary. The third one is the work experience or the projects you have been involved. And there is a fourth one is the education and training background and your personal skills. So let me give you a brief idea into each and every part clearly. So I'm just zooming it, and here I have changed my contact information for the safety of privacy. So don't look at it and try to contact to these stuff, because they are completely faked around. So you can always write to me on the comment section, or you can contact me through the appointment through the Calendly form. So now let's start with this. So the most important part most of the people don't want to do, or at least are shy to do, is having a good photograph of yourself. It is normal in Germany that people put their photograph, and some of them doesn't put their photograph due to personal or privacy reasons. But I would highly recommend you to have a good photograph for your profile that speaks about you. The moment when an interviewer or kind of manager is reading through your profile, he is able to immediately relate the kind of personality you are, and this gives you a lot of advantage in terms of giving a kind of idea of the persona that you are. So that's the reason why I say please don't underestimate the importance of having a good photograph on your CV. And another mistake I have seen a lot of Indians or normal Asians we do is putting a passport photo, looking into the camera, or some kind of photograph that have been used for your applications or other bank applications or something like that. Don't put those kind of photographs. It has to speak a little bit about your attitude. It has to speak a little bit about your professionalism. And go to any professional photographer and ask him that you are looking for a photograph. You want to take a photograph that is used for your application process for the job, and it has to be really officially looking attire. And this is the most important part that I would say. And then you have normal contact details that you can always put in. And here is the summary. And again, one more thing that I would like to give you an input is that I have took a European format. This was the European standard format that I got on the internet, and I have tweaked it a little bit to my style. But you might like it, you might not like it, but this is the standard I follow. But what is important is the content and presentation. That is very important for you. Here and there might be alignment issues, but if you are really good at a Word document, then I would say just go ahead and tweak it, or prepare your own style, your own format. And if you have access to Canva or some kind of professional tools, just go ahead and use them to prepare it in much more elegant way. But let me give you the important parts that you need to have in the curriculum vitae. The first thing is this summary, or I call it highlights. This particular section is going to give you complete highlight of your career. So what are the achievements you have done? So what are the certifications you have? What are the important skills that you hold that makes you important for this position? So what makes you to stand out from the public? So these are the things that you can highlight in the summary part. So don't bring your hobbies here. So people generally tend to mix a lot of things into highlights. Don't do that. So don't bring your hobbies and just focus on the professional front alone. This is very important. And as you can see, the areas of expertise, if you have a lot of broader range of skills, like for the managerial part and all those things, then I would say put your areas of expertise. But if you are a developer, or if you are a kind of senior software engineer role, or a kind of a technical lead where your focus is completely on the technical part, don't put all the frameworks here. Don't do that. Again, this area is to cover your broader skill set. If you're an expert at agile methodology, if you're expert at dev operations, and if you're expert at product management, if you have led some teams which is related to digitalization of a particular factory or something like that, then just go and put those highlight areas where you have a broader overview. But if you are a developer where you want to put a Spring, Hibernate, C Sharp, C++, don't do that here. You have a separate section for your technical skills at the bottom where you can actually put all that at the bottom here. So you can also include the years of experience you have in those software areas into highlights as well. So as you can see, I have restricted your highlights to 10 points, not more than that. Don't write the full page. The next important part that I would like to tell you is highlight those professional certifications you have, and which gives them an extra boost for your CV. That makes your CV stand out because they will be able to immediately spot what are the professional qualifications you hold. For example, if you are a certified materials management expert in SAP or some kind of certification you have, then please highlight it. It gives you an added advantage. Or if you have some kind of prizes that are won on any hackathon or something like that, just mention them in the awards section and all those things. Let's move on to the part 2, work experience. Here on the left hand side you can see the timeline from when to when I have worked for this company, and I have changed all my companies and just gave you the relevant experience. And I have broadly explained about my previous company because this is the first touch point about my work experience background. So I would like to give more about what are the roles and responsibilities I am playing and what is the project is all about. There are two important points that areas you have to cover in the work area section in the first company part. What are the roles and responsibilities you are playing and what is the project is about. So you can mention them, and you can also mention to which industry it is related to. Is it an automotive industry or some kind of other industry or something like that? So in the similar fashion, you can go ahead and put a timeline and explain for which company you have worked, what is the location, and then what are the roles and responsibilities you have played, and highlight those technology stuff that you have already worked with. Some kind of design patterns. Not everywhere, don't put everything as bold, just put that highlighted parts which might be interesting for the interviewers or the managers who are trying to select your profile. Then comes to the professional certification. Just highlight your professional certification, and you can also mention the year if you need. If there is any kind of certifications that generally expire, then I would say just put an year, but mostly it is not needed. So highlight your professional certification, and if you have any credits that are higher, then you can also put your credits or percentages related to that certification. Then coming to the education and training background, I would say just put it as a timeline here and highlight what you have actually learned and highlight those kind of background of masters and bachelor's experience. And then finally put the award section. Definitely, if you have any awards, don't think if it is a small one or a big one or something. Even if it is an appreciation award, then just highlight it in your resume. Then if you have any job seeker visa or if you have any work visa, then just highlight that visa status and until when it is valid, from when and until when it is valid, and the languages at the end. So basically my resume actually goes to 3 pages. The most important part I would like to highlight is restricted to max 3 pages. 2 pages is really good. A lot of interviewers or managers with whom I spoke about, even for myself, if it is going beyond 3 pages, it will lose its relevance. So please restrict yourself to 3 pages at the max. The best is 2 pages because you are going to write the covering letter as well. So you are also the interviewer or the selector is obliged to read the covering letter and also your resume. In this case, it is almost 3 to 4 pages. It is coming all together. So it is important that your highlight section is going to be very convincing. And again, if you need some help in your better inputs, then just contact me and I can help you in terms of making your resume better. Restrict 2 pages or max 3 pages and have the highlight. And if you want to use this template as it is, then I would say there is a trick for this template. This is a very noisy Word document, I would say. So just click on this, highlight it and borders and shading, and then you put all and you will see where you have to tweak it. Okay, so you see all this is a table actually. So everything what you see here is a table, and you can just align every stuff, and then finally once you're done with the particular section, just go to the borders and shading and say none, and then bam, it's over. So this gives you a fine control about the spaces that you have, and also the kind of alignment you can get into a particular section of a table. So this is how I have been preparing. So there are people who said good points about this profile, and there are some people who said I don't like the alignment part and all those things. So it's up to you. If you don't like it, don't use it. If you like it, just start using it and focus on the alignment, focus on the content part, and it has to reflect to the position that you are applying. So this is very important part. And I would say there is another important area that I would like to highlight is don't duplicate your highlight into work experience areas. Whatever you are writing it, don't duplicate here again. So give a unique description about your current profile responsibility or something like that. And if you're not able to do it, then please include with your project related description. That makes it a bit unique. But in the highlight section, it has to stand out what are the skills, what are the responsibilities, what are the achievements. Skills, responsibilities, and achievements. These are the three things that you have to focus in highlight. But when it comes to work experience, again, focus on project related roles and responsibilities, achievements on the project, and what are your responsibilities at your company or something like that. So focus on that. So this is very important, and I will give you this sample piece of CV in the attachments, and you can download it from there as part of the resources, and you can tweak it. So that's all for this section. Thank you.